There are just so many party and multiplayer games on the eShop that it can be a bit overwhelming to find a simple game to pick up and play with your friends. Today we are looking at two such games that deserve a little more attention: Boomerang Fu and Stikbold, a Dodgeball Adventure Deluxe. Both are party-centric experiences for up to 6 players locally, yes, 6 players, where you will be attempting to eliminate your opponents on various stages using either boomerangs or dodgeballs. Both games can also be played in single player with computer bots filling out unclaimed spots. Which game will ultimately come out on top? Let's find out. In Boomerang Fu, your goal is to be the last person, or in this case food, standing, while eliminating as many of your opponents as possible. You are only armed with a boomerang that, when thrown, satisfyingly slices through your opponents. You must juggle when you should make a move to attack your opponents, while also contending with power-ups and occasionally stages that move around or have deadly traps. Rules can be completely customized to your liking, but the game is intended for 4 to 6 players at the same time, which I also found to be the most entertaining number of players. Matches are over extremely quick, taking place over however many stages it takes for someone to earn enough kills to be declared a winner. Stikbold, a Dodgeball Adventure Deluxe, takes place on similar top-down style stages with pick-up-and-play gameplay, except instead of boomerangs, there is a single dodgeball that is used to eliminate your opponents. Matches can be set up in teams or in a free-for-all style, just like Boomerang Fu, creating short and quick rounds that take place on circular stages with occasional obstacles to contend with. The goal is equally as simple as in Boomerang Fu: eliminate your opponents to win, with matches being customizable to whatever conditions you want to try. Stikbold has several game modes outside of the main party experience, including a co-op story mode, mini-games, and something called the Wheel of Rumpus, which is a side party mode in the spirit of Wheel of Fortune, except with dodgeballs. Both games easily satisfy their primary goals of being a zany local game to play with friends. Where Boomerang Fu begins to separate itself a little bit from Stikbold is in the gameplay itself, which I found to be a bit more enjoyable. The actual controls are more refined with a simpler learning curve. It's super easy to control your character and boomerang, and it behaves exactly how you expect. Once power-ups introduced, such as exploding boomerangs for example, is where the game skews from more skill to chaos, but never to the point where you don't feel like you're in complete control of your boomerang-wielding character. The levels are also a bit more varied, featuring moving platforms, portals, and deadly traps at times. Despite playing essentially the same game over and over, it never really gets tiring and hits that perfect pick-up-and-play sweet spot that a lot of party games fail to accomplish. I should mention, besides the gameplay itself, Boomerang Fu is also a couple notches of technical polish above Stikbold when it comes to performance and overall presentation. While I did find Boomerang Fu a bit more fun to play, especially with friends, it does lack depth, especially if you're looking for additional game modes to enjoy. It is solely focused on being a party game, for better or for worse, and essentially has just that one main game mode. Stikbold, on the other hand, has several other options. There's an entertaining, albeit simple, co-op story mode, which is a pleasant surprise to see included here. There are also more minigames that mix up the gameplay, such as fighting to pop each other's beach balls, for example. If you don't know what to try, play Wheel of Rumpus, which is a party mode mixing in all the different games in one place and well worth your time. While these game modes round out the package to make it a completely worthwhile experience, it still doesn't change the fact that the game itself is not nearly as fluid or enjoyable when pitted up against Boomerang Fu. In Stikbold, you play in teams or individually where there is one dodgeball on the playing field at a time. Your goal is to eliminate each other by hitting the opponent once to stun them and a second time to eliminate them. It's not as engaging of a concept as Boomerang Fu and features twin stick controls that may be slightly off-putting to the pick up and play crowd. It's not bad by any means and still a lot of fun, just not as fluid of an experience in my book. That being said, I really enjoyed the Bomberman-esque ability to influence matches from the perimeter once eliminated, like throwing a fake dodgeball or turning into a distracting goose. So even if you get eliminated early in a round, you can still influence the match in completely over-the-top and entertaining ways. When comparing these two games for a final score, even with all its quirkiness and extra features, Stikbold simply just isn't quite as fun to play as Boomerang Fu. Boomerang Fu strikes that perfect balance of pick up and play gameplay that is tighter, more enjoyable, and more responsive. That's not to say Stikbold shouldn't be something you should play, especially if you enjoy party games or want a new simple co-op game to try. It's plenty of fun, just doesn't quite reach the level of addictive fun that Boomerang Fu provides, a game that is easily one of the best party experiences money can buy for the Nintendo Switch. Even with the higher score, I recommend both these games to the right crowd, and if you manage to get 6 players in one room, then you will have a ton of fun with either option. Peace out.